Hello and welcome back to some more F1 2020 and part 10 of my team career mode with Jordan GP. I can't believe we're already 10 episodes in, but the support has been absolutely fantastic. So thank you very much for all of that support. Keep hitting that like button down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. It's just been such an amazing series so far, and I've really enjoyed it. And you guys giving the support every day is just pushing me on to try and increase the quality for you guys. And that's of course why we've got the two-phase project as well. The dream of getting 4K gaming onto the channel as well. So if you want to help with that, 3 links down below in the description. Obviously, don't expect anybody to. And it will pay for itself eventually. But if you want that 4K gaming a little bit quicker, then that's what you might want to do. But today we've got the French Grand Prix. I think that's it's going to be a pretty decent Grand Prix actually. We've got I'm trying to check the calendar here. I don't know when the British Grand Prix is meant to be. I feel like we've got 2 more races until we have to make a decision on Mick Schumacher. So he's got two races to really prove his worth before we potentially step in and basically tell him to get stuffed with his 2 million a week. 2 million contract period request. What do we want? Do we want him? So for 2 million, I mean we can get both of these. Why don't we get both of these? There we go. And hopefully that'll improve our teammate a little bit. So that looks good to us. Okay, so we've got the personnel moving up to level 1 hopefully. But let's get into the French Grand Prix and we'll see how we do in qualifying. Okay guys, here we are on our first flying lap then around this French circuit. And actually, you know, in the past I've never really enjoyed this track, but on this game it feels quite nice and flowing. You know, you really do feel the grip of the cars, and that's certainly something I've noticed this weekend. Our practice pace has been pretty good so far. But here we come into the final corner, a little lock up there and a little bit wide. That's going to hamper us as we come up to the line. What's it going to be? It's a 132.4. So a little bit of a disappointing lap. I have got enough fuel to do a second run here, and hopefully we'll be able to improve on that time. Well, after the first qualifying session, we couldn't improve on our second lap, and we're actually out-qualified by our teammate Mick Schumacher. So very disappointing that we're so close to the Williams cars and so far off Q2 time. So, yeah, pace isn't looking good round here, and the race is going to be an interesting one, battling from the back again.
Here we are once more at the Le Castellet circuit for another round of this year's Formula One World Championship. Renault took their first French Grand Prix win all the way back in the inaugural race in 1906, but it was another 73 years before they could take their second. So they'll be pushing hard to delight the local fans here today. Mastering a lap of Paul Ricard means getting to know 15 corners, 6 left and 9 right, for an overall lap distance of 3.6 miles. The 2 halves of the long Mistral Straight are separated by a heavy braking zone into a potential overtaking hotspot at the Chicane Nord. And watch out for the drivers running onto the distinctive coloured stripes, which are low in grip and highly abrasive. And as always, a man with plenty of racing experience joins me in the commentary box. Today it's Anthony Davidson. Tell me, Ant, you're no stranger to surviving the melee of turn 1. So how do you keep out of trouble when there's so much going on around you?
Well, the throttle goes both ways, Crofty. You've got to have the discipline not to try and win the race on the first lap, so always be prepared to lift early and give those around you more space. Trying to be the last of the late breakers with half a dozen cars around you may pay off from time to time, but it's also a great way to lose your front wing.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Vettel, Verstappen, Alexander Albon, and Perez, Ricciardo, Stroll, Norris, and Kimi Raikkonen, Sainz, Leclerc, Esteban Ocon, and Gasly, Giovinazzi, Grosjean, Daniel Kvyat and Kevin Magnussen. Schumacher, the captain, Latifi and George Russell ends our grid lineup. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head to trackside for today's race.
Well, thank you to David and Anthony for that introduction, and today obviously starting in 20th position, our slowest qualifying for quite some time really, behind Mick Schumacher. Which I'm very surprised about, because our pace, as I said, in practice was very, very strong, and yeah, as I just hopefully edited out that sneeze. Yeah, our pace was very strong in practice.
Hard and early to give us any chance of a good result here.
So I'm thinking potentially switching the strategy up here and going mediums then. Soft later on, so if we go medium to start off with, a little bit longer into the race, 7 or 8, it doesn't really matter, does it? If we pit a lap earlier, we'll hopefully get more out of it. So yeah, that looks good. I'm happy with that. That sneeze is throwing me completely off guard here. We'll put a bit more fuel in the car. I think that worked out very nicely last time. So here we are. Let's get into it. So splitting the strategy with Mick today. So
Launch map is good.
a wheel spin off the start.
We're going to need some work on the brakes, so put some energy into them and warm the tyres as well, please.
So obviously quite a few straights around here, chances to get ourselves up the order, hopefully. That's got to be the plan today, so we shall see how we get on. I'm not sure how many people have gone for this medium tyre first strategy. I mean, we could check on the race director, I think, if we have a quick little look. Well, Bottas is on medium tyres, and nobody else, just us, only mediums, so that's very interesting.
No threat of rain for the time being, conditions looking good.
Looks like there could be rain later on. Not necessarily. So obviously this is going to be a potential overtaking spot in the race, and then obviously we've got this third sector which is so fast and flowing. But I'm just really hoping that we can push ourselves up the field today. Maybe, you know, compete for 11th place again, but whoops. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So coming round for the start of the race. We'll be reforming the grid very, very shortly. Valtteri Bottas and ourselves on the different strategy. So here we go. On to the grid. Up in 20th position, hoping for the best here. Let's go. Lights out, away we go here in France at Paul Ricard, and well, it's a great start off the line for Latifi, and he manages to pass us, probably with that superior grip on the soft tyres. We try and hold it round the outside, but quite happy to just slot back into 22nd position there. Okay, we could have made some ground there, but would have been quite risky. Speaking of risky, having a little look down the inside of Russell, and look at this, going like a snail's pace through here. We actually managed to get back up into 20th position past both the Williams, so here we are just behind Kevin Magnussen on this first lap. We're going to have to stick overtake button on to try and stay in front of these Williams cars, who are pretty slippy in a straight line. So, but yeah, we've got some argy-bargy up in front with Grosjean and Kvyat, that looks like. But I'm quite content just being in 20th place at the moment. Well, having a look around the outside of Kevin Magnussen, and we are through. A little bit rough, but we are through into 19th position, which is good. Now we got our teammate Mick Schumacher just ahead of us. That could have went wrong. That could have went very wrong. Just sort of backed out of it. A little bit impatient there. Need to get our focus back and zone in on him. We can get past him. I think our race pace will be stronger than Mick's, even though his qualifying pace seemingly was stronger than ours. Well, there goes Kevin Magnussen with the DRS activated, and he's through. So it is going to be an incredibly long day today for us. We seem to have lost all that pace that we had in practice. We're just dropping off the back of Kevin Magnussen here and into the clutches of the Williams cars behind. I mean, we started this lap a second behind Mick Schumacher, and look how much time we lost in between then and now. What is going on? Well, there goes Russell, and here comes Latifi, and we're now officially back down to the back of the field. I think this strategy may well have been a poor one.
Pitting this lap then. Come into the pits at the end of this lap.
We're going to come in this lap and switch to the soft tyres. I know the soft tyres will probably die a death by the end of the race, but we've got to try something. Well, here we are into the pits then. And yeah, I just think today is going to be one of those disappointing races.
Go, go, go.
We're in 2.9 seconds. That's quite a long pit stop for us.
Okay, stay clear of the white line.
We're away.
Exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross over into the track.
Well, there you go. Look at the undercut that we got on Latifi, and we're right behind George Russell. This car seems to have come alive with the soft tyres. Okay, they've come out on the hard tyres, so you know, we might have made a mistake in terms of tyre wear, but we'll try our best. We needed to try something, and we're right behind George Russell here. We've just got so much more grip than him, which is obviously
Gap to the car
to be expected.
0.6 seconds.
But here we go. Here comes the DRS. And we're easily through. So that made light work of George Russell. You can see how much more time we're getting out of these tyres as opposed to the medium tyres. Well, here we are on the final lap, and apologies to you guys that this has been a completely uneventful race, but it's one of those reality
1 second per lap.
reality check really, that we still have a hell of a lot of work to do on this car, and if we are to finish 7th in the championship, we've still got a load of work to do. And we can see George Russell behind is possibly going to pass us here for 20th place, and that would be a bit embarrassing if a Williams beat us, if I'm being honest. On pure pace, Valtteri Bottas wins the Grand Prix. I mean, we've just been completely outpaced by our teammate in this Grand Prix. I have no idea what has happened to our pace this weekend, but I mean, even early on in this race we were looking pretty racy. You know, we passed Kevin Magnussen, and we were trying to pass our teammate Mick Schumacher as well. But if you have a look at this, you can see the wear of the tyres. They've completely fell off the cliff, which was to be expected, you know, but we had to roll the dice if we were to make any impact in this Grand Prix. We've ran out of ERS, we've ran out of fuel pretty much. There goes George Russell, he's going to finish 20th, and we finish in a lowly 21st place.
Race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
Yet another historic win under their belts. Well done to the team at Mercedes. Anthony, tell me, what was it that helped them achieve this success?
Well, this was a real team victory. They put together a solid strategy today that appeared well suited to the conditions out on track. The driver did everything that was expected of them in the moment to really execute the team's plan to perfection, a shining example of how F1 really is a team sport.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take top spot, a well-earned victory for Mercedes. And after this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. It's a great result for Lewis Hamilton, who moves further ahead at the top of the table. Now, let's discuss, Ants. Who would you say is a contender for driver of the day?
Charles Leclerc showed exactly how to manage yourself out on the track today. He was almost flawless out there. Incredible stuff.
Let's move on to the constructors. Mercedes continue to extend their lead. Well, Ants, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
Well, a largely uneventful French Grand Prix ends with Lewis Hamilton taking the checkered... Valtteri Bottas taking the checkered flag. Lewis Hamilton is in second, but Bottas, a real dominant display from him, and he was 1.3 seconds quicker than anyone else on the day. Let's just have a little look at our fastest lap time. Ours was a 1:34.7, which was actually a tenth quicker than Mick Schumacher. So it shows on the day, you know, our pace at some point in the Grand Prix matched our teammate. But yeah, what a reality check. And maybe it's just a circuit that isn't good for us, and hopefully we'll bounce back next time at the Austrian Grand Prix. If you've enjoyed that, then make sure you hit that like button down below. It really does help out. It means a lot to me as well. Subscribe to the channel for daily Formula 1 2020 content. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.